Welcome to the session on operations management. In this session, we will discuss about another quantitative forecasting method called the moving average method. You have seen the regression method in quantitative forecasting. Now we will see the moving average method in quantitative forecasting. Moving average method makes use of averages, or it averages the data from the few recent periods. From the list of the historical data, it will make an average depending upon what's the moving average period specified. This average now becomes the forecast for the next period. It is applied for short range forecasting, and the number of periods of data to include in the average becomes important here. That is, if there are say 10 observations and say 10 years data is given and 3 years moving average is specified, then we will take the last 3 years average and that will be set as the forecast for the next period. That is, depending upon what is the moving average period mentioned or period specified, the moving average period or the time frame will be mentioned to you. Based on that specification, you will find the average for the duration given, and that will be the forecast for the next period. So the average of the recent periods mentioned, what is the moving average period mentioned, that average will be set as the forecast for the next year or the next time zone. Let us take an example. We'll take a case. An inventory manager wants to develop a short range forecasting system to estimate the amount of inventory flowing out of our warehouse each week. She thinks that the demand for the inventory has been generally steady with some slight week-to-week random fluctuations. She wishes to use a 3-week, 5-week and a 7-week moving average and forecast for the 18th week considering the most recent 10-week period. There is an inventory manager who wants to develop a short range forecasting system. See, this is based on weeks now. So a 3-week, 5-week and 7-week moving average is what is required now, and the forecast for the 18th week is to be considered. Now taking into account the recent 10-week period. So 18th week forecast based on the most recent 10-week period. Be very clear. So the objective is to find out a 3-week, 5-week and a 7-week moving average forecast for the 18th week considering the latest 10-week period. So that is the problem or the example which we are taking now. Let us see how we will solve this. So the data here is plotted in a table. The weekly inventory demand in thousands of rupees is given. The table shows for week 1 the actual inventory demand in thousands of rupees is 100. For week 2 it is 125, week 3 it is 90, week 4 110 and so on. For 17 weeks data is given and you are asked to find the forecast. The inventory in charge wants to find out, she wants to find out what is the forecast for the 18th week based on this data. Now the other 3 columns shown here, where you can see here average the period, average period of 3 weeks, that moving average period of 3 weeks, that is moving average of 3, moving average of 5 and moving average of 7, or we can also call it as a 3-week moving average, a 5-week moving average and a 7-week moving average. So what is required now is 10 data, that is from the last 17th week, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 10, taking into account these 10 values, recent 10 values from the 17th week, the in charge has to now forecast for the 18th week. So 3 different forecasts are to be done, one based on a 3-week moving average, on a 5-week moving average, and a 7-week moving average. For the 18th week. Now you can see here the last 10 weeks data is to be considered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this data has to be now considered. Now for a 3-week moving average, now if I have to find out for the 10th week, for example, let's take a sample 10th week. Now if I have to calculate a 3-week moving average for the 10th week, I have to take the last 3 before 10, that is the 9th, 8th and the 7th, the average of these 3, 85 plus 102 plus 110 divided by 3 will give me this value 99. 85 plus 102 plus 110 divided by 3 will give me 99. Now if I have to find out a 5-week moving average for week 10, then the last 5 excluding 10th one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 values, 105 plus 130 plus 85 plus 102 plus 110 divided by 5 will give me this value 106.4. Correct? Similarly, a 7-week moving average, if I have to predict make a forecast for the 10th week, a 7-week moving average, then the last 7 excluding this 10th. So from 9, 7, 1 including 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 90 plus 110 plus 105, 130, 85, 102 and 110 divided by 7 will give me this 104.6. Correct? So you can see here what I am trying to tell is, if I have to take a 3-week moving average for the 10th week, I want to now find out this value I have to find out. This is not known. Assume that I don't know this is the forecast value for the 10th week. How do I get 99? How did I get this? Take the average of these three 85, 102 and 110 divided by 3, because I am taking a 3-week moving average. So this will give me this value. So this divided by 3, this entire, add all this, divide by 3, we will get 99. Now if I have to get 106.4, what I have to do is these 5 values, 105, 105, 105, 130, 85, 102 and 110. Add this, divided by 5 will give me this value 106.4, and so on. This is how you calculate. So now let us take again we will see again. Now what is asked is forecast for the 18th week, right? 18th week. For 18th week, a 3-week moving average will be, add these 3 divided by 3 will give you a forecast for the 18th week. For the 18th week, so add these 3, 80 plus 95 plus 100 divided by 3 will give you the forecast for the 18th week. Correct? So you can see here the sample calculations are given. For the 10th week, F10 will be 85 plus 102 plus 110 by 3. Similarly, a 5-week moving average will be 106.4. Similarly, a 7-week average will be 104.6. And similarly, calculations for the 18th week, F18 will be 91.67, F18 5-week moving average will be 102, F18 a 7-week moving average will be 101.43. Please remember here, if I have to find out for the 18th week, so this will be the value of the 17th week, 16th week and 15th week. So 80 plus 95 plus 100 divided by 3. If I have to find out a 5-week moving average for 18th week, this will be 17th week, 16th, 15th, 14th and 13th. Now similarly, if it is a 7-week, this will be 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12 and 11. So that is how you calculate the values. You can see here the weightages are all equal. all are given all these values. For example, I told you this is the most recent. If you are calculating for the 18th week, you are not adding 18th week value, you are adding the 17th week value, 17th week actual. So 100 plus 95 plus 80. So these are all equally given equal weightage. That is why you are dividing by 3. Now in the next method which you are going to find out, it is which we are going to discuss actually, the weighted moving average. Here what we are discussing is, unlike moving average, here weights are assigned equally to historical data. Here what we are doing is, we are assigning weights here. We are data. In moving average methods, the weights are assigned equally to historical data. In some cases, it may be desirable to apply unequal weights. Here, the most recent data are given more weightage because it's more current, it's more fresh. The data is more nearer to the value which you are going to predict. So that is why when we want to predict something or forecast something, the most recent data will be given more weightage. So here, since more recent data are believed to be more relevant to a forecast, larger weights are applied to this data. Let us take an example. Week 7, 8, 9 values are given, the actual data and the weightages are given. You can see here, since this is the most recent, week 9 is the most recent, we have given a weightage of 0.5. The previous one to that, the previous to the latest is given 0.3, and the one which is oldest is given the least weight, 0.2. So here what you are doing, if I have to find out a 3-week weighted moving average, what I do, 0.2 into 85 plus 0.3 into 102 plus 0.5 into 110 divided by 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.5 will give me 102.6 in thousands. Correct? So this is an improvement over the moving average method. In moving average, what we did, we simply, all these weights were 1. So if it was a moving average method, then 85 into 1 plus 102 into 1 plus 110 into 1 divided by 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is nothing but the average of these 3. In moving average, we simply took the average, which meant the weightages were 1 there. Now, your specific weights assigned, the most recent values are given highest weightage. So that is the difference between weighted moving average and normal moving average. So in weighted moving average, you assign weightages to the data. In most cases, the most recent data is given highest weightage, and oldest data is given the least weightage. So how do you do this? Just multiply the weightages to the actual data under consideration. So when you're forecasting for the 10th month, take the last 3 data, 7th, 8th and 9th, like you have done in moving average. The only thing, multiply the respective weightages to the actual data pertaining to that week and divide it by the weightages, 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.5. That will become 102.6 rupees, 102.6 in thousands, correct? This will be the forecast for the 10th week with weighted moving average method.